Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Chapter 6 of Wake the Dead, and this chapter was intense. So remember Feather, an old guy who looks kind of amazing, hippie, so we make a deal with him that he would be giving us the food supplies because we're short on food, but we will have to help him sort out his colony problem. So we go to his colony. In the walk, we talk with Troy, and again, Troy cracks some jokes, and he says he doesn't trust them, but this is the least we can do. We don't have anywhere to go. We need food, and they need helping, so that's some mutual benefit. When we reach their colony, we see hordes of zombies. Troy suggests that we flee from that place because it's really hard to fight with that many zombies. But then Feather says they're not the problem, and on cue we see two dudes in motorbike approaching, and they look weird, like spikes and some stuff they have on their head, weird haircut. I mean, it just that gives away that they're not up to any good, and they just brutally kill the zombies. So just two of them with bullets and their bike and with all the other stunt they pulled, they just kill all the zombies, and they go inside, and we learn that they have come here to get some supplies, and Feather says that they're the problem. So we see in the process of killing the zombies, they also destroyed some plants that are source of food. And then we go inside, we learn that this is Sunflower Creek. This is a colony that was established a long time ago, even before the apocalypse started, because they didn't want the capitalist rat race that was going on in the world. They didn't want to be part of that. They sold off all of their earthly possession, and they came here and built their own community with their own rules. And then we go inside. Feather tries to sort of tell everyone, convey the message that we're here to help, but no one listened to him carefully, and those two people, they're from the Raiders pack, and the Raiders members, they are here to get something that was a deal between that and them and this community. So the elders go to talk, but we see that Feather isn't much listened to here. Like, not a lot of people really respects Feather, or he's not popular. But then we meet a little girl, May, and we think that Feather and May, they're really close. And May is a really cheerful little girl who knows a lot of scientific stuff and, plants, scientific name. So there will be a diamond scene you can take. You will go with May to find some plants and prepare yourself a potion that will help you dealing with injuries and recover from some nasty blows or cuts, wounds that you will have in future fights. So you can take the diamond scene, you will go, and you will just be more, you will strengthen up your bond with May, and you will become friends with May. So I really liked how they included this and the whole dealing with zombies and stuff. I think a character who's really cheerful and as bright as May was needed in this book somewhere, and I really enjoyed the scene with May, how happy he is, and also the group, Ellie, Shannon, Troy, Angel, all of them have something to say. And Troy is always like bowing and cracking his jokes. He's a really interesting character. He is an amazing character. I'm saying, I'm growing fond of Troy, his jokes, his gestures. I mean, I have not seen a character like that in a while. I mean, Mal was like that, but he's even something extra. But anyway, we also can get a flower, and we can gift it to one of our love interests. They chose to give it to Shannon. I was thinking between Shannon and Troy, but Shannon, then we will see May running to Shannon and giving the flower. The scene was wholesome. I could have imagined it happening in front of me. So that was really well done and a good scene to give a break between fighting and tensions. But then we see raised voices, and we go to the elders' room, and we see one of the elders, who is probably the leader of the colony or one of the leaders. They are backed into the corner by Boot, I think, the bigger man, and Knuckle, who has like weird hair and So he is giving orders and threatening. So basically, the thing is, they want some food supplies, but this colony doesn't have any more, and whatever they have left, that's the bare minimum they need to feed themselves. If they give this to them, they will starve, and they're asking for time, but those inhumans, they're not listening to it. So then we interfere, Ellie interferes, and we basically have a grab on them. First, you try to talk with them nicely, but they don't listen to us. They wave us away, and then we choose the hard way. So Ellie, Angel, they tackle both of them, and then we have a choice whether we talk or we just punch Knuckle in the nose. So I thought, in a normal circumstance, if it were a high school story, if it were any today's story, I don't think I would have chosen to punch him in the nose, but rather in a conversation would have been an option. But just because the world we're in, the post-apocalyptic world where we're getting killed by zombies every day, life is uncertain. I chose to punch him in the face. And he starts bleeding, and I didn't know it was an important choice until they recapped the chapter. Let me know what you did and why. And then they will go away. We'll literally scare them away. The elders will thank us. But then we'll talk with Feather, and we'll get a lore to learn about how this sunflower community, when they were first established, how they were established, their rules, laws, history. We can get to know a lot of stuff from them. Then you get outside the joint room where all the elders are there, and we learn that why their rules, how closely they follow. So something interesting I thought. I mean, choices. Gotta give credit to them for this amazing book. I mean, this is another amazing book, Wake the Dead, because it's not so much important to zombies, but again, the representation they did. I mean, something. This is really something. It's not so much mainstream, but these are thought-provoking things. I'm kind of getting off topic, but this is my personal thought or observation that the community they represented, it was even before the apocalypse started, and they ran away from the world because they didn't like the world's rules, or the capitalistic nature, or whatever, the rat race going on. So they wanted to flee and wanted to find peace. Then they established some rules and their own colony. But now what they're doing is that they are saying they abandoned not Flower, Feather, because Feather saved a little girl to kill a zombie, and they think killing is a crime, and he should have been banished from this community because that's what the books say. Now, here's the thing. So they created a community which was better on the face of the earth or the whole human population, but they have become something in a twisted community too that follows the laws closely. So that's something thought provoking. We do think after reading the lore, we can implement some of the equality and other things in our community, but it's also not the perfect picture. They thought they're going to build an utopia on the face of a dystopia, but this utopia also turned into a dystopia when they followed the rules really closely. This is something interesting, but after reading the lore, we will sway them. We'll tell them about the zombie surge and sausage. So we'll come to this. We wanted to have some foods, but they have barely left any, and they also don't want to build alliance with us because they already are in alliance with the raiders. Then why would they want to build alliance with us? But we will convince them that they can build alliance with us because the raiders are notorious and nasty. Unlike us, they can trust us. And also, when the zombie surge happens, we can take them to our place. They can hide out there, and then they come back here later. And also, we get some saplings and diamonds into place. Orchard, a beautiful place we can build in our own colony, in our survivor's lodge, or whatever you named your place, your lodge. This was interesting. Also, one thing that I really liked about like how you get to sway with certain choices and certain diamond choices if you read the lore. But I think these raiders, I don't know, but just a theory that I think they could be connected with. They did name someone, a fan's name, which name Angel liked a lot, the leader. So their leader, they said, nobody has met their leader. What if their leader is Blackstock, who goes by a different name? I don't know, could be possible. But one thing for sure, when we think that everything sorted out, we hear outside engines. So the bastards came back and they start firing, and all the bullets come in, making holes on the rooftop. And one of the elder gets shot and they drop to the ground. And we know it's on. We see Knuckle coming and he's furious and he's come back for revenge. And that's where the chapter ends. So, the chapter review, we first go to the sunflower colony with Feather, and we deal with these Knuckle and boot them and scare them away. Also, if you choose to punch Knuckle in the nose, then he will remember it. So that was an important choice. And then if you went with May, which I did, you have bonded with May, and in the process you've gained an important survival healing item, and you have also swayed these colony members to go to your colony and make an alliance with you, and you have gotten a own orchard sap, a lot of saplings to sow and build your colony better with those orchard garden and place for that. So it was an amazing choice, but you needed to spend diamonds for that. And you can also learn about the colony by reading the lore. And finally, Knuckle and his friend, they have come back to get their revenge, and they're looking dreadful. So that's where it ends. Next chapter description says we need to run to our colony before time runs out because we're being pursued by knuckleheads. I mean, Knuckle and Boot. So this is an interesting chapter. I think for the first chapter in this zombie book, where zombies aren't the main villains, but it's back to the human villains again, and I think it's gonna stay like that in the next chapter too. We will see. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. But Wake the Dead, another chapter, another amazing chapter. I can't wait to find out what actually happens in the finale. But there's a long road ahead. Where in chapter 6, it's gonna be amazing. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.